Are you looking for a compact, affordable, and most importantly, very reliable, compact vlogging rig? I'm going to walk you through how to set up what I use using the DJI Osmo coming up. Just get outside and do something awesome. So the big thing for me when it comes to an action camera is that it's one, simple to operate, and two, reliable. Because the last thing I want to do when I'm out filming my adventures is have to mess with a camera that has constant errors or is difficult to operate. And this definitely meets the bill and is the most reliable, easy to use, and gives you the best quality that I've found yet. So let's get started with the parts that you need to put this all together. So the first thing you're going to need is the camera itself. This is a DJI Osmo action camera. I got it on Amazon, and at the time of this filming it's $199, and I'm going to link all these things down below so that they're easy to find for you guys to put this rig together, just like me. So the next thing you're going to need is a cage mount, and this one is made by PGY Tech. And the reason why you're going to need that is because you need to have one with cold shoes available to mount an external mic. This one is my favorite because it actually has two. It has one on the top and one on the side, so it gives you a little bit more options. And then also with two, it allows you to attach like a lume cube or a little light if you're out fishing or recording your adventures at night. Alright, so next you need this little guy here. This is an external audio adapter, and what it allows you to do is plug that external mic that you've mounted to your camera now that you have those other two things, and you can plug it in. And then it also has a port on the bottom where you can actually charge the camera while you're using the external audio adapter. So you're going to need this. This one is by Cynova, C-Y-N-O-V-A. It's like, sounds like Russian. Cynova, welcome comrade, you need audio adapter. Yeah, I don't know. It's linked below. Next you just need a good quality shotgun mic, whether you have one on hand or not. I like this Boya BY-MM1 or the Movo, I think it's the VXR10. I think they're made by the same company from what I've kind of read, but if you look online it's very comparable to the Rode Video Micro, and a lot of the tests they actually have found, all the audio wizards out there have found that it actually has better sound, and I've seen a lot of blind comparison videos where this actually has better sound than the comparable Rode version. Alright, and last but not least, you're going to need a micro SD card to record your stuff. I like these SanDisk Extreme ones. I'm going to throw up a picture right there, and because you really can't see this little guy, and I'm going to link it down below. If I had to tell you a size to get, a lot of it depends on what file size you're recording in. I would at least go with a 128. Memories become very affordable, so I would at least go with a 128. That way you're not having to worry about filling up cards. So my background on action cameras, this is not the first action camera I've used. I've used several other ones, and I'm not talking like cheap Amazon knockoffs, I'm talking about big company ones. And the main problem that I had with those was just reliability. Constantly having errors, SD errors. It would stop recording in the heat. It wouldn't record in the cold. And all these problems led me to this camera, and this camera has been the most reliable option for filming kayak adventures and just filming outside. Because when you have an action camera, it's an action camera. You're going to be doing actiony things outside and in the elements and in heat and in cold, and you don't want to be worrying about your camera. So let's get to the unboxing. Alright, so let's get to the unboxing here. Get my knife out. Bam! Alright, so we got it open here. Here's our camera. A little baggie here. Yeah, nothing beats taking off these little stickers from the box. Alright, so in order to get it out of the stock cage, you're just gonna pull up on this and then flip that up, and then you'll open the back, and then that's gonna allow the camera to slide out the back, and then I can take off that back one. So there's my camera, and as you can see, it comes without the battery installed. The cool thing about this camera is, here we got our little accessory pouch here. We're gonna open that one up. That's got all of our extra stuff in here. So it does come with its own mounts. I personally don't use the mounts because I have a bunch of mounts because I have had GoPros, but that's the extra mounts that it comes with. It does come with this cool little battery pack here, and inside the battery pack you have the battery itself, which actually comes with the door on the bottom, which is a little bit different from other action cameras. And so another cool thing about this case is if you want an extra micro SD card, you can actually slide it in right there, and it's got a little storage spot for an extra micro SD card. But we're going to take that out. We're going to go ahead and install this battery here, so I'm going to slide the battery in here. So you do want to make sure that, see how that's orange there? You want to make sure that when you install the battery, you push it all the way in so that you don't see that orange anymore, and that means that the battery is fully seated down in there. Alright, so next I'm going to open up this side door here, push it on that button and pull out, and then once it's up like that, you're just going to pull it out. Come on, there we go. And then I'm just going to set that to the side because I don't need that, because I'm going to be using that external audio adapter. And then I'm going to take my micro SD card and I'm just going to slide it in. The side with the little like gold contacts on it is going to go up towards the camera, so the like colored side goes down, so I'm going to push that in. There we go. Alright, so we got our action camera right there. I don't really use this anyways because I use the external audio adapter, but I do keep these because it's nice to have in case you ever want to take the camera in water. Because remember, when you take that side door off, it is no longer waterproof. Alright, so next I got the little audio adapter here, so we'll open that up. There we go. Got that out, so we'll just open that up. All that stuff's gonna fly out. And then here, we got our little audio adapter. So really small, compact. If you look on the bottom here, it's got USB-C, so you can charge your camera, and then on the side it's got the input for the audio, and on the back it's got USB-C where it plugs in the side of the camera. So I'm not going to plug that in yet just because I want to get out the cage first, which is what we'll open next. So here's our cage by PGY Tech. Open that up. So there's our cage. Cool thing about this is it's got the finger mount like GoPros, so you can use all your GoPro accessories with it. On the back it does have this little door here, and you're just going to push that over and it's going to slide over. We'll go ahead and install our camera. So I'm going to stick my camera down in like that. There's that, and then we're just going to slide that back door back on, and it clicks into place. Next, now that we got this on there, we can put our external audio adapter on. So the easy way to remember this is the little port for the audio will face the back. So we're just going to slide this into that USB-C port there, and it clicks right in. And see, you got your port to the back for your microphone, and on the bottom you've got your USB-C. So there we go for that. Next we have the microphone itself. So we got the Boya BY-MM1. We're going to go ahead and open that. Boom, boom. Open. Neanderthal opening. I don't need no stinking knife. Alright, so we got that there. It comes with the dead cat already on it, but if you don't want it on there, you just slide it off. So that's the microphone itself, but I always use the dead cat just because I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And then it comes with all these little accessories. It's got the shock mount. So for the shock mount, when you look at this, it's got a little skinny place right here, and that's where the shock mount's going to go. So you're just going to slide it on. Boom. It comes with two different cables. So this one right here that doesn't have the coils in it is for your smartphone because of the way that the connectors are, because it goes from TRS to TRRS. And then this one is for like a camera. So this is going to be the one that we use. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one in. And then it does come with this cool little baggie here to keep your microphone in if you don't need it. So I usually keep the extra audio cable in there in case I need it. And then we're just going to attach this to the camera. So it's got the cold shoe on top, and that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm just going to slide in that microphone to the top. And then we're going to tighten down this little screw, and what that does is just tightens it down to the actual camera, so it's not going to flop off. And then we plug this in to the side here. Boom. Alright, so I've got that all plugged up, but this is my other one that I've been using for a while, and I just wanted to show you this because I wanted you all to see. I usually wrap the cord around so that it's kind of out of the way. So I have it wrapped around the base of this, and it just keeps it out of the way of the screen. That's what I wanted to show you all. Alright, so now that we have everything put together, I'm going to orient you to everything on the camera. So on the side here, you have this QS button. Quick switch is, I think, what it's for. Quick switch button. On the top here, I'm going to take off this shotgun mic for a second. On the top here, you have your power and display button, and that's what you use to turn it on and off. You have the record button right here, and then like I said before, on the side you have the USB-C for charging, the SD card, and then that's where we plug in our external audio adapter. One thing that I really do like about this camera is that when you get back home from having a good day out on the water, in the woods, or just, you know, using your action camera, when you get home and you want to take your footage off, I usually just put the SD card in my computer. So it's really quick to be able to pull this out, just pop your SD card out, and then put it in your computer. Whereas like with other models, you usually have to take it out of the cage in order to be able to get at the SD card inside the camera. Alright, so let's turn this on. I'm going to press the power button over here, turn that on. Alright, so it's going to ask me to select my language, English. And then it's got that QR code right there. And that QR code is so that you can attach it to the app. You can skip this. It has 5 times to skip it, but you do have to connect it to the app to make sure that you can use it. So now I need to get my cell phone. Alright, so I got my phone here, so I'm going to go in the app and I'm going to just type in DJI. I already have this app, so if you don't, you can just get on your app store and search DJI Mimo, M-I-M-O. So I'm going to click on that. Now I've already had this app, so everything is already set up for me. As always, I had to go back in and reset my password because I always forget passwords because everything has a different account. But I'm covering up with my thumb my account name, but it just says confirm account info once you log in, and you're going to click activate. Alright, so it automatically shut down, so I'm going to turn it back on and click connect. It's asking me for the terms of service, and we all know that they could say they're blood-sucking vampires, but we usually just click agree. Get DJI device info, hit next. Right there it says confirm account info. I'm covering up with my thumb there where it has my account name, so I'm going to click activate. So now it's saying activating. It said activation successful on there. And so now my camera is activated. I'm going to skip the DJI care. So now it's saying camera is activated successfully. It says notice for beginners. I got to click on it. Insert a micro SD card. Telling you how the power button works, how the record button works, how the quick switch button works, and about the screen and how to like drag and drop to be able to use the menus on the screen. There you go. Join. Done. Alright, so now it's going to go ahead and automatically send me in to do a firmware update on the camera, which is going to update me to the most recent firmware on the camera. Alright, so on my phone, it says update success. I'm going to hit done. So now that the firmware has been updated, I did notice the last time I did this on my other camera, I'm going to hit update successful, just clear that out. On my other camera, what I had to do is I had to, in order for all the things to stick, is on the back screen, I'm going to take from the top and drag down. I'm going to go to the little gear in the top right, looks like a nut. Then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and do factory reset. Hit restore to factory settings. For some reason that seemed to get all the settings right. Alright, so then it's going to ask me to set the date and the time. So I'm going to go to January, today is January 6th of 2021, hit the check mark. Time, check the time, 8:43. Alright guys, so what I want to do first is I want to go through the menu system on the back of the camera. So if I click here to turn the camera on, it's going to show top left how much space is left on your SD card. It's going to show me RS here that my Rocksteady's on. It shows a little microphone that shows that my external audio is recording, my battery indicator on how much battery charge there is. Down at the bottom it's showing my resolution, and then over here on the left it's showing me the recording mode. So if you swipe from the top to the bottom, that brings down all your main menus. So for example, you got a little person here, that's custom profile. So if I click here on the little person, it says, because this is the first time it's telling me what these are, create, manage custom mode, save current configuration to C1. I'm going to click on that. Alright, so then it's going to prompt me, it's going to ask me if I want to save these current settings that I'm on to C1. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to swipe from the top to the bottom again. You've got your screen brightness, you've got your screen lock, so I'm going to drag up from the bottom to the top. You've got your settings, and this goes into all those settings, whether it's your exposure, the grid, all these things I'm going through here, you can probably read them, just the basic stuff. I'm going to close that out, drag from the top to the bottom. Alright, so this one right here is your screen like orientation lock, spot metering. Alright, so if I drag from the top to the bottom, it's got the little person here, and that's how you set custom profiles. So if I click on that, I can hit save current configuration to C2. This is actually already saved to C1, but let's go back here. I'm going to swipe up. So I'm going to change these settings. So it's currently at 2.7K 60 for a 20-minute loop. So let's say that I want to change that. So I could go over here. Let's do 4K 25 at a 5-minute with Rocksteady off. And then I'm going to swipe from the top to the bottom. Then I'm going to swipe from the top to the bottom again. Click my little person. I'm going to save this one to C2. It's asking me to, it's showing me all my settings, loop recording, 4K 25 frames a second, and 5-minute loop recording. Save current configuration to C2. I'm going to hit OK. Alright, so now that's saved to C2. You've got this one here is your screen brightness. This is if you want to lock the screen. If maybe it's like, let's say you're going underwater and you don't want to have the screen mess up stuff, or it's rainy, you can lock the screen. Here's your settings. It goes through everything, all your settings, like you can turn the sounds off, the grid, all the normal settings. I'm going to close out of that. Here you have your screen orientation. You can set it up to where it won't automatically switch. If you turn this camera upside down, it's automatically going to switch that screen orientation. Here's your auto metering. Another cool thing is your voice command. So that little guy with his voice going out is your voice command. So if I click on that, you can enable or disable. And then here is your front screen view. You can change how the view on the front screen is. So if you have those on and you're wondering what those commands are, if you click the little gear up here, go to control here, voice control, it says that it's on, and then it has a command list down here. So it tells you all the ones that are available. Let's try it out. Start recording. Stop recording. Screen switch. And then it's going to show my front screen there. So that front screen is extremely useful when you're trying to frame your shot. So I'm going to turn voice commands off so I can talk and it won't do a bunch of stuff. But another way to switch your screen is on the side here on the QS button. If you hit that once while you're not recording, there we go, it's going to turn on that front screen. Look at that dude. If you want to switch while you're recording, so I'm going to start recording, hit the record button. If I want to switch to the back screen while I'm recording, I'm going to press and hold the quick switch button. See, it gave that switch icon, and then it switched to the back screen, let's say I want to switch back to the front screen. I'm going to hold that QS button down again. It's going to switch again. That's a really cool feature. That's a really cool feature about this camera. And what that front screen allows you to do, it allows you to get your framing right whenever you are trying to frame yourself in the shot to make sure that you are in the shot correctly. If you want to shut the display off, if you actually press the power button while I'm recording, it turns the display off, but it's still recording. If you look at the front, you still got your little indicator there that says that you're recording. I'm going to hit it again, turn the screen back on. Then I'm going to hit the stop recording button over here on the right. And then this little button right here, it adjusts whether the front screen is like the image takes up the full screen or whether it keeps the current aspect ratio. I prefer it like this just because I like to see exactly what I'm shooting. Alright, so if I want to see everything I've recorded, if I swipe from left to right, it's going to show me all my stuff here. That's the last recording that I did. I click this little grid up here to the top left, and if you hit that top menu, it says all. You can actually sort by whether it's a video, photo, time lapse, whatever. Alright, so swipe from left to right. If I hit this little grid up here again, and it's just showing all my videos. I actually have an SD card in here from when I used my other camera. But let's say you want to delete one, so I hit this little check mark up here. I can go through and select all the videos that I want to delete, and I hit the trash can, and I can delete selected videos. Alright, if I swipe from right to left, and like I said before, these are all your manual settings for your video if you want to use those. The real thing that I could see you wanting to use this for is if you had, especially for me for kayak fishing, I don't have time to get back and adjust the camera every time, so I usually leave it on auto. But you could set your ISO max so that it doesn't get really grainy. On this, if you hit this camera down at the bottom, you can adjust your auto white balance. You can have your color settings. Normal is more just like, I call it grab and go, just because like it's going to look pretty good out of the box. But if you want to have like something that you can color grade and all that, you can hit the de-Cinelike right there. I already went over the de-warp that keeps it from looking really distorted, and then you can adjust your format of how you want the file saved. Alright, so if you're wondering what it looks like when you're out in the field using this, this is what it looks like. I've got the external audio on, so this is what you're going to sound like. I usually do have to boost it in post just because it's not a powered mic. If you maybe had a powered mic, you might get away with not having to boost the audio. But this is at 4K, 24 frames a second. Rocksteady is on, so if I want to run or whatever. And I also have de-warp on, so it's going to be a little less GoPro-y looking. So let's say I was going to go on a jog here, and I was going to talk like somebody cool that's jogging, like I'm Casey Neistat or something, jogging 5 miles. No, not going to happen. But so that's kind of like what it looks like. These are some really good action cameras, and they've gotten better and better. And I appreciate you guys watching this video today. I am going to cut this one right here. And if you're interested in the settings that I use for kayak fishing when I'm out, I'm going to do that in a separate video, just because this video is getting kind of long. But I love this rig. I love being able to see myself on that front facing screen, frame my shot, and be able to capture my stuff without having to worry about my camera. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video today, and hopefully this helps you out, because the last thing that I want each of you to do is to waste money on an action camera that isn't going to serve you well, and I can guarantee you that this one will serve you well. So thank you guys for all of your support. Please consider checking out my other videos, and as always guys, don't forget, get outside, do something awesome, take somebody with you if you get a chance, and I'll see you guys in the next video.